This is sad.
Let me out. I'm talking to all of y'all. Okay, come on.
Hey, don't apologize. Don't apologize. Wait.
I like that. I like that. I like that.
So you have these type of women that come up here and they do that type of thing. And I want to play this video real quickly, and then we can go back to talking about that.
When she gonna start making videos about men and what men ain't doing right? All her videos is to down talk women and to bash women. No. If you think for 1 second that my videos are to down talk and bash women, then that lets me know that you still got a ways to go. I have no desire to make videos talking about what a man isn't doing right. You know why? Because I don't care. We are not men. That is something that y'all got to get through your heads. Y'all want to keep trying to compare and contrast and put us up against men like, well, if he can do it, we can do it. No, we cannot. This is not our game to play. If a man is not doing right by you, why can't you just have enough strength and enough power to move on gracefully? Why do you feel like you got to use your body as a lick back? Why do you feel like, well, I'm going to go fuck his friend. I'm going to go fuck his cousin. I'm going to make him feel how he made me feel. He don't care. Men do not look at sex the way women look at sex. Men look at sex as sports, something to do. They don't care. So you're going to wear your body down trying to get all your lick backs. Wear your body down, trying to make yourself a product to be sold because you feel like you don't want to lose in the game, when all you got to do is just hold yourself tight and wait for that right man to come find you. All you got to do is just stand on your core values as a woman and your standards, and the right man will find you. But y'all out here playing a game with the not shit niggas, and all that's doing is making y'all look like not shit women. How you gonna find a man that's of value when you out here devaluing yourself to try to play get back with men that you claim ain't shit? Just let the men that ain't shit not be shit. That should not make you a not shit woman.
Ooh, that young lady was going to town.
Yeah, she was.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Shomlalabokosha. Nick, hold up.
He probably did spit on her also. I wouldn't doubt it.
Oh, I don't even want to consider that.
Oh my God. That video, and you know what? That shows the contrast. Because in that first video, you have a low-level hood rat, gutter trash female. You know what I'm saying? In this second video, you have a knowledgeable, intelligent sister trying to give these morons some game, and she's explaining how they're attacking her for trying to correct their despicable behavior. So at the end of the day, what I took from those two videos juxtaposed to one another is to make sure, men, when we're out here, that we are mindful of the spectrum. You dig? You can go from queen to round-the-way hood monkey in 0.5 seconds. You understand what I'm saying? Like, real talk. And you can't treat them the same. You can't interact with them the same. You can't have, your energy must change when you're around these different levels of women. I met a chick like that back in the day. You know, I forget the chick's name, but I ran out of there as fast as I could, because she was like, yeah, you know, I like you. I think you this. I think you that. But, you know, you too nice. She's like, you know, for me, you got to hit me. And I'm like, what do you mean I got to hit you? Like, you got to hit me. You got to put me in my place. You got to slap me or even punch me. I like that shit. Listen, that's some Tyler Perry shit. You know what I'm saying?
BET Films presents
Major
Gauge, the prison song sequel. Major, they'll call it Major's lyric.
Bruh, I'm looking at this chick like she got 3 heads. Like, you ain't gonna have my ass caught up in no domestic violence case. What's wrong with you? No, they're so damaged, a lot of them, that they literally expect this type of shit, and they get to the point where they crave it. They like it. It turns them on when somebody physically harms them. Then see, this is what I really hate. Then when it goes too far and he beat her ass more than she approves of, now she want to go to the police.
Yeah, that's that gray area.
A
You're right.
lot of these domestic violence situations that y'all see is from a chick like that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you this like I know it. I've counseled and mentored young girls before. When I was in high school, they had us mentoring the underclassmen. It was a girl like that, you know, who she liked that type of abusive type of stuff. And I used to tell her, look, you need some counseling. You need to really go, you know, and seek some help because that's not normal. And it's a very dangerous path that you're leading yourself down, you know. So seeing those two sisters back to back like that, that was really good brain food. I like the setup there. And men out there, keep in mind, you know, you have that first one and then you have that second one, and they're not the same. And back to the Chance the Rapper situation. Today's topic is what? Logical reasoning, right? Back to the Chance the Rapper situation. Logical understanding. You have to understand logically. I'm from the outside looking in, but from what I can see, you got a grown-ass woman, bruh, and you need to treat her accordingly. Your energy needs to match when you interact with her. You can't interact with her like that hood rat that you just saw or Sexy Red. It ain't gonna work. You know, she deserves more than that. See, this is where I can agree with the women sometimes when they say, oh, you know, I need to know my worth. You understand what I'm saying? The thing is, they like to abuse that phrase and think that it applies to everybody that got a pair of titties. No, it does not. You understand? There are levels to this. You know, you got a woman like that who carries herself right. She's respectful. You know, she don't be in nobody's face. She don't be on nobody's internet saying nothing stupid. She is a lady. You're supposed to step up and treat her that way, man, and have the utmost respect for her. So real talk, you know, this should let y'all fellas know it's levels, you know, and shout out to that second sister for going to town and keeping it a buck, because we need more sisters out here like her checking this bullshit behavior from these goddamn, you know, hood monkey ass chicken heads out here. That ain't it. That ain't, you know, I hate when you say something about the way they're acting. Oh, you down in women. Like she said in that video, it ain't about down in women, because women don't act like that. It's certain ones of you motherfuckers that display that behavior, and you're the one getting checked. That's like we criticize Kamala Harris. Oh, you down in black women. First of all, she ain't black until it's time for the election. Secondly, we are criticizing the behavior of a Kamala Harris, and we're criticizing one person. How is that you talking down black women? It's one goddamn person.
Exactly.
You need to get their goddamn mind right. People just be talking and not thinking. You know, we have let this behavior go on for so long that it has become normalized. It has become the culture. Like you said, this bitch can actually get mad that people are talking about her for pulling up to a children's school, knowing her antics, smelling like weed with her titties out, and you got the nerve to be mad. Somebody should have locked her ass up.
I thought it was very telltale that I think a lot of people didn't realize what she was saying. They thought she was trying to be funny. But even when you go see somebody in prison, they have restrictions on how you dress,
real talk,
how you look, because you can't entice the men that's in there. You pretty much have to be covered up, and it's very strict. So if you
I actually forgot about that. That's true.
If you can't even go in there looking like that, then you damn sure shouldn't go into no school with no children looking like that.
Right. Real talk.
Go ahead, Bobby.
No decorum. No decorum.
Yeah, no whatsoever. Really not to jump back into sexual behaving red. I'm not going to call that sex. It's not. It says a lot that she would even accept an invitation like that. You know, it's ridiculous. You shouldn't want to be knowing that if that's the lane that you're in, that's an issue by itself. But you know, even though I didn't necessarily grow up in that environment, I was born in an era where the people that was up to no good understood hierarchy and they didn't want to be associated with certain things. You know what I'm saying? And Major, you talked about that before as well too. You've seen that yourself, where you might have dudes out there selling dope or slinging rocks or banging out there, they say they on some gang business. And when the young kids come around trying to hang or trying to be cool and trying to act that way, they go set them on about their business. Like, hey man, move them around here. Go do your homework, whatever. Here's $5. We get some candy. Go. You don't need to be around here. They would actually go holler at their parents like, hey man, you need to do with your kids. They out here where they're not supposed to be. They were out here policing them kids. They was up to no good. They had records. They was a bunch of felons moving foul, moving low. But at the same time, they didn't want to see any children get caught up in that nonsense. They recognize, hey, this is rated R. This ain't for kids. Go do something else. Go find you some toys to play with. Whatever. Nowadays, you got the degenerates. They want to be up and around the children. There's some confusion when The Weeknd got nominated for a Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards, and that's actually funny as hell considering what came out about Nickelodeon recently. But he went ahead and he put him on blast, and that song Reminder, he put him on blast for nominating because he's like, look, man, I don't make no kid-friendly music. I don't make no now that's what I call music or kids Bob Jones. I don't make no family-friendly music. I make songs about popping pills, doing dope, smashing hoes, being in the club, blowing money. There's nothing about what I do that's Teen Choice Award friendly. What the hell you nominated me for this for? What's wrong with you? Yeah. Again, doesn't want dissociation. So it says a lot that a person that's in that lane would want to have access to children, want to be around them, like there's some kind of role model or example or someone that the children should take heed to. Like you said, who is the target audience? But as for the other two sisters, it's a tale of two cities right there. You got the crack house, and then you got the presidential palace. That's exactly where you at. And the funny thing is, just based on the way they speak and conduct themselves, I'm not talking about any accents they may or may not have, any tones, or even the vocabulary usage, but just the way they speak and the way they conduct themselves. They could be identical twins in terms of their physical aesthetics, and yet their behavior and attitude and mindset can make so like you're looking at two completely different human beings. You can't even recognize them as being related. I heard the first one, I was like, oh, this is irritating. As soon as the second sister came on, it was like, oh, it's like spring cleaning. Like, ooh, it's fresh air in here. That's a breeze blowing. Oh my God. The floors are clean. They're not sticky anymore. Wow. We have far too many women that really want to be men.
Yep. There it is.
They have completely shelved, if they haven't just outright tossed aside their femininity and their womanhood. They want to be men. They want to have dicks like men. They want to have pissing contests. They want to pull it out. They want to whip it out in the bathroom stall, have a pissing contest. My Johnson is longer than yours, thicker than yours. I can pee harder than you for longer than you. I'm just a better man than you all around. That's what they're trying to do. Like you said, you're not competing against other women, or better yet, competing with yourself. You're out here trying to compete against men. And not just men. And again, because it gets even deeper, it's not even men you're competing against. You're not trying to compete against the best and the most upright men. You're competing with the lowest of the low, the bottom feeding men.
Yes.
The little dregs at the bottom of the septic tank where all the solids is at. That's what you're trying to compete with. So even in your aspirations to be like men, you're not shooting for the cream of the crop. You're shooting for the sludge at the bottom of the dumpster. There's a song that Joe Budden did some time ago, one of his mood music mixtapes, where he's going in on some issues he had with an ex of his. And there's a line that he said that just always stuck with me because, it's just telling, but it's how a lot of women seem to think. He was going and talking about, I guess there was a time, I don't know whether it's real or just for the song purposes, but how she went and cheated with someone to get back at him. And he was like, that didn't faze me. He's like, that dick was inserted in you. How can it pay me back? These are things that you do into yourself.
Wow, that's heavy.
But you're trying to spite somebody. You're literally cutting off your own nose to spite somebody else. You hold on the burning hot coal, burning yourself. Talking about you're going to throw it at this other person. You affecting yourself before you could even get to me.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it's offended, even if I'm hurt by what you're doing, even if I'm devastated, what does that do to you first to get to that point?
Real talk.
Mm.
Real
You
talk,
know,
sir.
people got to heal, man. People really have to. It's not a trendy catchphrase. It's not a dismissive insult or what have you. It's a statement of fact. You want to talk about knowing your worth? If you know your worth, you will go and seek help. How about that? Knowing your worth isn't, I need a 6-figure man who's such and such. That's not knowing your worth. Knowing your worth is saying, I need to go and see a therapist so I can love me genuinely, so I can be the best version of myself, so I can have something worth loving. Because what I got right now, I got some pocket change. I need to actually get to $2, $3, $4, $5, $12 first before I can start talking about value. Because right now, there's not much to value. I need to get myself to a place where there's something there.
Yeah.
You ever notice too with that phrase, know your worth? It almost always only comes up with women when it's related to money. Your worth isn't relevant until you're talking about how much money the man that you're making is supposed, that the man that you're dating is supposed to make. That's the only time that your worth is important. What about your worth regarding not having children out of wedlock? Oh, did I say that out loud? Because at the end of the day, there's this whole conversation where, you know, people are shitting on single mothers, and, you know, people are mad that people are shitting on single mothers, and people are getting upset that people don't want to date single mothers. But at the end of the day, ladies, you're the ones that allow somebody to make you a single mother.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not excusing the guys for doing it. You understand what I'm saying? I feel that men need to, you know, step up and be more selective about the women that they bed and have children with. But at the end of the day, like you say, it's your body, your choice, right? Or that only applies when you want to have an abortion. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. I just had to throw that in there because that phrase makes my head explode. You only hear that shit when it has to do with her selecting a guy who makes a lot of money. Oh, I know my worth. But everything else, you're content with behaving like a worthless whore. What's up with that?
In fact, it's in a materialistic sense as well, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the only time
it's rarely. I've heard it applied in other situations, but rarely. Like money. For every one time I hear it mentioned in that context, I hear it 19, 20, 30 times in the other context.
Always about money. You know, the nice place that he has to take me for a dinner, how much money he has to make. Oh, I can't believe you just bought me this teddy bear as a gift. You need to do better. I just saw a video with some Hoodrats saying that. It's never in the capacity of you need to treat me with more respect. It's never that. It's never you need to have some integrity when we speak to each other, when we interact with each other. We need to communicate on a level where we're talking based on mutual interest and respect. It's never that.
Correct.
I'm just saying, and this is, of course, not all women, because I know somebody's going to say that. We know it's not all women. You know, it doesn't have to be all. If it's enough, it's a problem. Not all the Germans were Nazis. God damn it, was it enough of them that were Nazis for it to be a problem? All right, then, shut up with that shit. Let's keep it a buck. Let's speak what it is. That's all I'm saying. You know, ladies, you gotta have some real standards about yourself, because at the end of the day, when these women, you know, are so upset with the situation that they're in, it really boils down to them not having any standards. And then they'll turn right around and tell you about how much they know they're worth. And they're not going to lower their standards, but your entire life you have lowered your standards. Help me help you. Goddamn. Conversations 2020.